Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to my June TBR. We are going to be picking my June TBR in this video. I have two boxes that I like to use. This is our new TBR jar. I actually just thrifted this or got this at an antique store recently. If you haven't watched that video, I think it was last week that I posted it, and I basically just go to a bunch of antique stores around Texas or around Austin, and I found this and I'm kind of obsessed with it. And then this box right here has a bunch of books that have been on my TBR the longest. So like some have been on there for like 3 to 5 years, which is kind of insane. But I am just like been in the mood recently to read some of the books that have been in my TBR for a long time. I have them because I want to read them. And so if I keep buying books, they kind of get like lost in the bottom of the pile, if that makes sense. So here's our first book for TBR. These I always try and prioritize reading like earlier in the month so that I make sure that I actually get to them. I actually can't, what does that say? Love and Other Words? Wait, I think I might have just, oh my God. I don't want to read a contemporary romance right now. I know that there are probably a bunch of you guys out there that really love Love and Other Words. I actually did find this at the thrift store too for like 99 cents, so that's kind of cool. And I mean, all of the things on the front cover really make me feel like I would really like it. Like it just looks really outdoorsy and cozy and stuff. But if I'm being completely honest, like I don't want to read a contemporary romance at all right now. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this tentatively on the TBR. Okay, I don't usually do this, but I just know that I want to read it when I'm in the mood to read it. So I don't want it to like go to waste and me end up not liking just because I'm not in the mood to read a contemporary romance. So I'm gonna put this, like I said, tentatively on the TBR, and then I'm gonna pick another one because I don't know. Not right now. I just can't do it. I recently read one and I just, no. So I've been in such a big fantasy and like literary fiction, contemporary fiction mood recently. I swear to God, if this is another contemporary romance, I can't see that. What does that say? The Shadow of the Gods? Oh my God. This is actually really, really good. But this means I'm starting a new series. Oh my Lord. I'm really excited to read this series, but I don't really want to start a new series. Oh my God, this TBR is not starting out very well. But you know, I'm actually excited for this because I said I wanted to start the series and finish the series like this year. So I think that this is really good that I picked this, and I'm really feeling like high fantasy or just like solid fantasy right now. And I think this is gonna be a solid fantasy. So you know what? I need to stop griping and just be happy that I picked this because this is a fantastic book. I already started this actually like a few years ago. It was when I was commuting an hour and a half to and from school every day. So I was listening to it on audio, and I just don't think you should listen to this book on audio. I was super lost. There's like so many characters and stuff. I stopped so that I could just read it in physical copy, and I just still haven't done it yet because I try not to like be in multiple series at one time. But I am really excited for this, and I just finished the Bridge Kingdom series, so maybe it is good that I'm opening up a new one. So yeah, Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is gonna be the first book on the TBR. These are completely opposite of each other. It's so funny. Also, I'm sorry, I have been sick for what feels like the past 2-3 weeks, and if my voice sounds any different, that's why. I honestly am feeling like much better than I have been, but still just feel like it's all in my voice and my face. So I'm so incredibly excited, and there are a mix of like new prompts and old prompts in here. And I also wanted to say that if you guys ever have any good prompt ideas that you think I would like, or you want to see me put in a jar, if you comment on any video that's on my channel with a TBR prompt, I will do my best to see that and put that in my TBR jar. And I thought that could be really fun for us to kind of like share prompt ideas. So this says a book from the second shelf. Okay, so there's a couple ways that I can do this because I've got, I think this third shelf right here, there are 2 shelves that are like to be read books minus my classic shelf, and then there's a bookshelf right behind you that's kind of like my fantasy TBR shelf. So I think what I'm gonna do, since we already have one good fantasy and I would like to have a literary fiction, we're gonna go over to this shelf and go to the second shelf, and it just says pick any book. So let's go over there and then we'll pick any book, I guess. Okay, so technically this is the second shelf. This is the first shelf of TBR books. This is the second, and most of these are like my hardback TBR books. So There are a lot of really good books I've been eyeing recently, like Lighthouse Witches, Sparrow, which I really need to read. That's been on my TBR for a long time. Oh my god, Yesteryear. If you guys have maybe seen this book around, it's been pretty popular recently. A Little Life. What is this? A Marriage Portrait, or The Marriage Portrait. I really want to pick a book that's been on my TBR for a long time. I just bought this book. It looks really, really good. The Women of Wild Hill. You know what I think I should read? Sparrow. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so Sparrow by James Hines. This book, if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you would have seen this when I got this from Half Price Books. I don't know, I just read the cover first, like drew me in just with the sparrow. I don't know, it's just an interesting name. And then the description on the front kind of like piqued my interest at the time. And it sounds like it's following a little orphan boy or something as he grows up in like the back streets of Rome or something. I have heard really, really good things about this book, and it was kind of like one of those one-off books that I just like saw and didn't really know too much about, but it sounded really interesting and I bought it. And some of those books that I go in without the intention of like actually buying or didn't know anything about have always been some of my favorite books that I've ever read. So I have really high hopes for this book, and I think it'll be a good little mix for the TBR that we have going on right now. It's gonna be our second prompt. Let's see, this one right here. I think also what I've decided to do is start throwing away the prompts, or not throw them away, but at least like, oh, I already looked at it. At least like take them out of the TBR jar so that we're not picking the same prompts over and over again. So less than 300 pages, right? Yeah, a book that's less than 300 pages is really good because we already have a couple bigger ones on there. So I have so many books that are less than 300 pages that I want to read. Like some of my weird literary fiction books are shorter. Really 304 pages. Okay, I have a couple options and these are all very different. So I have a Steinbeck book of Mice and Men, and I've been wanting to read this for a while, and it's pretty short. It's actually probably less than 100 pages. It's like right at 100 pages, 105. So that could be a good option. And then Killing Stella by Marlon Hausfer. I just read The Wall by her and loved that book so much, and so I like immediately actually went to the store and picked this up. And this is a really short, this is like 70, oh no, it was like 87 pages, and I'm pretty sure this is kind of like a little horror novella if I had to guess, kind of something like that. I don't want to know anything about it when I go into it because I just think that will make the read so much more special. But this is super short, so I could honestly pick this and another one. But you know what I think I actually am gonna pick, now that I'm thinking about it, is Lewd in the Mist. And that is because this has already been on a TBR before, and I have had this book on my shelf for a very long time. Like I bought this right when I moved to Texas is when I bought this a few years ago, and I haven't read it yet. And this is also a classic, so I think I'm gonna go for this one. It also is giving spring summer vibes, so I am really excited about that. This I think is a rediscovered classic is what I read, and it is basically about a like fantasy world. Let me reread this. A dark and enchanting rediscovered classic follows Nathaniel Chanticleer, the respectable mayor of the town Lewd in the Mist, on a quest to bring his children back from fairyland. That's right. I knew there was something to do with like fairyland or something. So yeah, I'm really excited. It just sounds cute. It sounds like it could be really good and just like summery and fairy tale magical type of story, and that's kind of like what I'm going for. So we're gonna add this to the TBR, which is vastly different than the books that we already have on there as well. So I think we're gonna have a really cool mix of genres. All right, this is our third prompt. And here we go. This one says, a book recently added to your TBR. That's fun. Immediately, I could pick this one. One that I'm thinking of right now, actually, that could be good is this one. It's called Palaces of the Crow by Ray Naylor. I bought this a few weeks ago, actually. It was like a week before it was actually supposed to be out. This is cool. But I think this is about a group of a few people who kind of like meet up in the woods and have to go on this quest in the woods or something together. I don't know, but it's giving me like horror vibes. So I kind of felt like it might be some type of like horror story in that sense. Another one that I could add is Clash of Kings, which is the second book in the Game of Thrones series. It's a really long book. Oh, I didn't realize this was like 1,000 pages long. This little teeny tiny book is 1,000 pages long. That's crazy. But I do really want to read this. And the only thing that's kind of holding me back is knowing that Shout Out the Wind is on that TBR. But oh my God, how could I forget? How could I forget? The Ballad of Falling Dragons. This just came in the mail. And she's beautiful. She's Grace. I don't know how the saying goes, but yeah, this just came in the mail. So this is the newest book actually added to my TBR. But man, now I kind of wish I could read both of these. I mean, I feel like I have to put this one on there. Like I have to. The only thing is, do I really want to read it and be done with this series? I don't know. That'll be finishing out the Bridge Kingdom and this series all at the same time, and that would make me really sad. Maybe I should just put this one on there. The only thing is I really, really want to get to the Game of Thrones book. Should I just be crazy and put both of these on there? I really just want to be crazy and put both of these on there. In my mind and in my heart and soul, I know that I'm gonna want to read both of these this month. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna put both of these on my TBR, and that's simply because I want to. Here we go. And I'm really hoping that I have a lot of time to read in June. We still have 2 more prompts. All right, let's do this. Let's have some really nice prompts. And I'm gonna try and pick just maybe a couple shorter books, or at least more like fast digestible books for this next one. What does this say? No, you're kidding me. That's actually perfect. Alrighty then, a free pick. I am going to maybe pick this one, but I'm also gonna go look. So I'm actually gonna pick The Penlopiad by Margaret Atwood. This is a shorter book, it's less than 200 pages. It's also been on my TBR for a really, really long time. And I wanna read more Margaret Atwood, and I just haven't yet since the Handmaid's Tale, and I really, really love her writing. So I'm gonna put The Penlopiad on there. This is like a Greek goddess or a Greek retelling or something like that, a Greek mythology retelling. Penelope, immortalized in legend and myth as the devoted wife of glorious Odysseus, silently weaving and unpicking and weaving again as she waits for her husband's return. Now Penelope wanders the underworld, spinning a different kind of thread, her own side of the story of tale, lust, greed, and murder. That sounds really, really, really fantastic. So definitely excited to put this one on the TBR. And the TBR is not at all looking, I think I said this like 1,000 times already, but it's not at all looking the way that I was expecting it to look. June is just throwing me a curveball. All right, we got another new one. And for this one, I'm gonna try and pick a shorter book yet again, just so I can really try and read my entire TBR. This says, pull a new prompt. Okay, the curveball. Interesting. All right, this one feels like it's been opened before. It's a little bit worn in. That's why I'm kind of like gonna get rid of the ones, or at least take the ones out that we just pick. An indie author. Okay, I love picking this one. The only thing is right now I don't have a whole lot of indie books on my TBR. So let me see. Oh, I actually have a really good one that just came in the mail that I could read. These are the 2 indie books that I have that I kind of want to read right now. This one I've already talked about on my channel. This is called The Bargain with Fate. This is by Becca Ann. And I found this actually at Barnes & Noble. I've never heard anything really about it. It was a signed edition, and I think she's a local author, so I wanted to just support her. This is a Viking romantasy, and it's relatively short. So this could definitely be a really good contender. But then this one I'm actually really, really excited to get to. The Blood Plagues by Averin J. Blood Demands Blood, book 1. And this cover is absolutely stunning. And the font in this book is like kind of has a weird format. Like the size is a lot thicker and the words are a lot smaller. But it makes me feel like this book will be read pretty quickly, despite the fact that it's like 450 or 500 pages. But basically, I bought this book kind of on a whim. I saw one really, really good review on, I think, Instagram the other day, and he was just absolutely raving about this book. That plus the just like art on the front, I don't know. It just made me feel like I would really, really like it. So on the back it says, dying women care not for the rule books of men, living women less still. Ashara and Dimitri dare only the briefest of touches, each kiss stolen under the cover of dusk. Tired of crumbs, they make a vow to indulge in the sin they both crave the night before their offering. One final act is living flesh before they are sacrificed to the blood of God. But that was before the acolytes, before the Inquisition, before the penance. Estranged for 8 years, they reunite with Dendra's grand tempulum mere hours before they are destined to die. When a druid is found slain inside its sacred walls, the sanctity of the last rite twists into a vicious hunt for answers only a brutal awakening can provide. The druids will learn how a woman's rage can rival the wrath of God. Really, really good. So yeah. What should I pick? Kind of feel like I should pick this one because it's shorter, and maybe save this one for another TBR. What should I do? I really think I just need to go with this one because it's shorter. And this just sounds like it's gonna be a solid Viking romantasy. Like, that might be something that I need in between a lot of these books. So I think I'm gonna go with this one and then save this one for a rainy day. So I think this is gonna be really, really cool. So I wanna like save it for the right time, if that makes sense. All right. Well, this is kind of a crazy TBR. Not quite as long as last month's, but definitely heavy on the fantasy, which I'm really happy about. I really just need some good, solid fantasies this month. I just am so sick and tired of fantasies being overhyped and like me not ending up actually liking them. So I'm really, really hopeful for a lot of these books. As far as Love in Other Words goes, if I can fit that into the month, then I will definitely try to, but who knows what type of, you know, mood I'm gonna be in. So I've got The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, Love in Other Words, Sparrow, The Ballad of Falling Dragons, oh my goodness, The Bargain with Fate, Lute in the Mist, The Penelopiad, and Clash of Kings. So it's a pretty hefty TBR, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of like pretty chunky high fantasies on here, but like that really doesn't bother me. If I am able to get through them, then I'm happy to. So like I said, this is really not at all what I was expecting, but here we are and I'm really excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, if you guys have any really good prompts or anything that you come up with, definitely drop them in the comments on this video or any of my videos, and I will do my best to try it and see those and put them in the TBR jar. And I think that would be kind of fun for us to kind of have a little like sharing of the prompts, if that if that makes any sense. So I will see you guys in the next video next Saturday. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and weekend. Bye guys.